Only about half of the US population invests in the stock market, and I'm sure that the percentage who invest regularly is a lot smaller. Investing is not something you should think about doing. It is something that you must do for your future and the future of your loved ones. Investing is not an option, it is not a choice, it is a duty and a task. The problem, it is complicated and it can be dangerous if done wrong. And during our forced education, we are basically taught nothing about it. Now, we can talk about the reason behind their motives to say that learning about butterflies or the powerhouse of the cell is more important than your financial future. Or we can suck it up and we can realize that it is something that we need to learn for ourselves and we can conquer it, because that is what we do. Hello everyone, my name is Derek and I got my degree in finance, so you don't have to. In this video, I'm going to break down the 4.5 most important things that you can never forget during your investing journey. And the third cornerstone, as I like to say, is very important. It has to do with FOMO and a modern twist on something that Warren Buffett once said. So make sure to stick around for that one. Now, it doesn't matter if you're 18 and you're depositing your first check into your IRA, or if you're 5 years away from retirement looking at your investment account wondering what you can do better. These cornerstones apply to everyone, so let's get right into the video. The first cornerstone to great investing is to contribute on a regular basis. A great man once said that it is time in the market, not timing the market, that matters. Let me know in the comments if you know who said this. See, unfortunately, there is no 100% way to know if the market or the economy is about to enter a recession or bear market tomorrow. So instead of trying to time the market, what you need to do is to dollar cost average. What is this? Well, usually it's a terrible strategy that newbie active traders do that ends up costing them a ton of money. So then why would you do it? Because in the realm of investing, which is the more prudent, maybe a little bit more nerdy, sibling to trading, dollar cost averaging can actually make us a lot of money. But here's the warning that you need to listen to. If you don't listen to anything else, listen to this, please. Dollar cost averaging only works well for market tracking funds. This means funds that track the overall market, like the S&P 500. This does not mean pouring more and more weekly money into that one tech stock that you are certain will change the world, even though it's down like 87% year to date. Okay? So then why does this soundingly awful strategy work in market tracking funds? Because the market always exists, and because it is the only asset that we have close to a 100-year track record of it continually going up. That company that you know from the bottom of your heart is going to change the world, I'm talking to you, Jimmy, may or may not. And unless you are a magic 8-ball, you have absolutely no way of knowing for certain. On a side note, I don't know why the name Jimmy gets ragged on so hard. Anyways, if you want to dollar cost average into some random company that you found on Twitter, fine. But don't call it investing. Call it what it is, speculation. Now, some people will disagree with the second cornerstone because it goes against everything that do not time the market stands for. But I'm gonna say it anyways. Cornerstone number 2 is to save a small portion of your portfolio in easily accessible funds. So when the market inevitably does one of its decadely implosions, you're ready. Now hold on, let me explain. I know a lot of you are gonna come for me and I respect it, but let me say this. Your entire portfolio shouldn't be invested in the stock market anyways, which means that you're going to have to put some of your money somewhere else. So put it somewhere where it does give you a return, but it is easily accessible. Short-term bonds, high-yield savings accounts, equity in real estate, etc. So when the market does cycle, as it always does, you can buy when there is blood in the streets. Another well-respected Wall Street saying. Funny how all these sayings can contradict each other. My point is, the market will cycle, as it always does, and having a little bit of extra cash, easily accessible, so you can buy some solid companies or ETFs at bargain prices, really isn't such a bad idea, is it? The third cornerstone, Warren Buffett, but with a modern twist. The big Buffett once said to buy good companies at fair prices, not bad companies at good prices. But nowadays, what I think is a little more fitting is instead to buy good companies at fair prices, not to buy great companies at outrageous prices, which is something I think a lot of people fall victim to. You have to understand that a stock or a company can always be overpriced, no matter how innovative or how promising. And in fact, the more innovative, the more hype. And the more hype, the more likelihood that it is overpriced. Now, there are ways to see if a stock is overvalued, like PE ratios, like PEG ratios, but that will require its own video, which is in the works. So if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss that video. What you need to remember now is that you will experience FOMO when investing, and this fear of missing out will cause an urge inside of you to jump into popular stocks. But this is where some of the biggest mistakes are made. There is no point buying a promising stock if you are buying at the very top. You need to take a step back, you need to get your FOMO under control, and you need to do your due diligence. You need to ask yourself what we call calming questions. Questions designed to get your emotions in check and for your logical brain to regain control. Does this stock have previous growth to back it up, or is it all predicted future growth? Is this stock in a promising or a dying sector? If this company was never talked about, would you still be interested in investing in it? What is its market cap? And what is its market cap in relation to other industry leaders? Is there runway or room to grow, or is the potential market tapping out? You must remember that capital preservation is just as important as capital growth. I think this third cornerstone will save a lot of people a lot of money if you just take it to heart. The fourth cornerstone is to always think in years, not in months or weeks. We must remember that investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Now, this is a mistake that most of us make, sometimes innocently, at the beginning of our investing journey. We deposit our first paycheck and we dump some of that into an index tracking fund, and then we check it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. We need to remind ourselves that true investing takes time, and it is not our actions that will make us wealthy, but instead the actions of the eighth wonder of the world. Einstein said that about compounding interest. Our money will earn us money over time, and that money will earn us money again. This is both the beauty and the curse of investing. Idle hands do the devil's work. Maybe, maybe not. But idle hands do make us fidgety, and the first thing that we want to fidget with is our portfolio. So buy yourself a fidget spinner and let your investments sit, not for days, not for weeks, not for months, but for years. Okay, now Cornerstone 4.5 is actually a book recommendation. I think this is a book that anyone, even if you just have $1 invested in the market, should read. It will be the most boring, but the most profound book you will ever read on the subject of investing. It is called The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. This book was written way back in 1949 by a man much smarter than me, and to this day, and I believe well into the future, this book will have implications that will directly affect your investing. I've gone ahead and put a link in the description below if you want to pick up a copy for yourself, which I suggest highly that you do so. Again, my name is Derek, and I got my degree in finance, so you don't have to. And if you like videos like this on personal finance, on investing, and on entrepreneurship, please consider liking, subscribing, and turning on the bell notification because the algorithm likes when you do that. Personal finance is something that I'm very, very passionate about, and it means the world to me to be able to share that with all of you. So I hope to see you in the next video, and I wish you nothing but the best in your investing journey. Until the next one.